So, as of February 28th, 2018, the Demon Souls servers will be shut down permanently. It has been a wild ride, hasn't it, everybody? How's it going, everybody? This is Daybreaker Rein here, coming at you through your video scope, and this video is going to be kind of different from my typical content, if you will, but I really did feel like I wanted to make this video and get this out there as just a final send-off farewell to Demon Souls, because Demon Souls has a special place in my heart, and I think it does for a lot of people. So I felt that this was a necessary video for me. So I apologize, because this is going to be kind of like a reminiscing, rambling sort of video. There isn't really going to be any sort of like anger or any like coherentness to it. There might not be. So I do apologize if it gets kind of a little sporadic what I talk about, but without further ado, before we get into the brunt of everything, I wanted to give a big shout out to my buddy XanthanFGC here on YouTube as well as on Twitch and Twitter. He was generous enough to let me borrow his HD Elgato capture device, so I am super thankful for him to let me do that. I really wanted to get the best possible footage I possibly could for this video in particular. I wanted to give a proper send-off. I didn't want to rely on my Roxio for some lackluster footage, but so I hope you guys all enjoy the crisp footage that I got via the Elgato. And if you guys like fighting games and Street Fighter and things like that, I definitely recommend that you check out Xanthan's content. He's actually been streaming a lot on Twitch recently, a lot of Street Fighter V ranked, so if you guys want to check him out, I will leave all the links to his profiles in the description below. So where do I begin with this reminiscing of Demon Souls? I bet the best place to start would probably be at the beginning when I first picked up Demon Souls. So I don't know if I remember mentioning this on any other video or talking about it, but Demon Souls was actually one of the first PS3 games I played. I was a pretty late adopter of the PS3. It took me a while to actually be convinced that the PS3 was a worthwhile endeavor and not just going to a PC, because I was kind of actually somewhat pushing for a PC. But lo and behold, I actually got a PS3. It was one of the fat models, but I do believe the slim models were already out, and I learned pretty quickly that I probably should have gone with the slim model. But Demon Souls, I actually picked up on a whim. It wasn't even something I had prior knowledge about. It wasn't something I was recommended. It was just something that I genuinely thought looked cool from the box art and from the back of the box. And I was kind of on an Oblivion fix. I really wanted an RPG that was similar in the vein of Oblivion. Now, granted, Demon Souls is not similar in any regard to Oblivion, being open world and stuff like that, but it was more open-ended. It was something that kind of seemed to emulate the style, if anything. But probably like most people who picked up Demon Souls without any prior knowledge of the company that made it, I got my ass kicked quite a bit. I died to that dragon a hell of a lot in the beginning level. I'm pretty sure any noob who wasn't familiar with the Souls series or got into the Souls series via Demon Souls probably wasn't prepared for the ass kicking that they were going to get. But it was just frustrating enough for me to keep playing. I wanted to see the game through and I wanted to beat it. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be with my first PS3. My first PS3 got the yellow light of death, unfortunately, and crapped out before I could actually beat Demon Souls for a first time. During the time of me trying to fix my old PS3 and getting another PS3, my buddy Elu, I actually recommended Demon Souls to him because he was more into the more action-y RPGs and didn't really care too much for the turn-based stuff, so I was like, dude, Demon Souls I think would be right up your alley, and sure enough it was, because he beat the game before I even got my next PS3, and he ended up sort of being my walkthrough and my guide for most of Demon Souls way before I even started looking up on the fan Wikipedia pages and things like that. So eventually, after a while, I did end up beating Demon Souls. I think I got up to New Game Plus 2 with the one character I was playing the game with. Unfortunately, the footage you're looking at now is a new save file. I lost the original save file with my second PS3 crapped out, and so the save file that you're seeing now was the one I had to remake. But it was kind of motivation for me to actually go and get that platinum trophy because I didn't want it to be a hang up for me. And I loved the game so much, I wanted to give it that. I wanted to have that platinum trophy to show off to everybody. So that's what I did with the save data, and that's what motivated me to come back to it. But it's really interesting getting even this footage that you're seeing because I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 1 recently, trying to get that platinum, and it's so insane how many differences there are from Demon Souls to Dark Souls, with things like how the summoning and invasion mechanic work, how the weapon animations are, how the character holds the weapon, and even the fact that there's no jumping mechanic in Demon Souls. And let me tell you, playing Dark Souls and going back to Demon Souls, it's really one of those weird mind tricks that you have, like you just want to jump over stuff, but you can't in Demon Souls. I can definitely say that Demon Souls will always hold a special place in my heart. It was the game that introduced me into the Souls franchise and made me hyped for every single Dark Souls game that came out, as well as Bloodborne. It made me go back and play some of FromSoft's older stuff like Evergrace, Eternal Ring, Shadow Tower, and the Kingsfield series, although be it was one of the later entries of Kingsfield. And I think it was a huge testament. I mean, the servers before were supposed to be shut down years ago, but so many people came back to play Demon Souls that Sony and FromSoft were like, all right, we'll keep the servers up. Obviously, you guys are interested in it, so we'll keep them up for as long as there's people who are interested in playing. And it's crazy to think that we got as many years as we did. We got 7 years. 7 years is definitely a long time for a single game to have its servers up, and it just is amazing that we got that much time out of it. Some games don't even last that long. Some games are shut down within a year, and it's crazy to think that Demon Souls stuck around long enough for tons and tons of people to get their chance to play it online. And it's sad to see it go. It really is. I don't think anybody's excited or happy to see a game's servers die. I mean, people probably want it to stay around for forever if possible, but that's just not the case. It's just the nature of things that servers eventually will be shut down, whether due to just the company not having an interest in it anymore, the player base has dwindled down to where it's not worth it to keep the servers up anymore. It just happens. We've seen it happen. We sometimes get revitalizations of servers, but in this case, I think we had a good run. I think Demon Souls had a good run, and I couldn't be happier that we at least got the time that we did with it. Now, there has been a bunch of rumors sparked because of this, talking about a potential remaster for Demon Souls, which, as much as I would love a remaster or a remake of Demon Souls, I genuinely think it just would not have the same appeal. It wouldn't have the charm. I think Demon Souls really is a staple of the PS3 library, and I personally prefer that it just stay its own thing. I don't think it needs a remake. I don't think it needs a remaster. I think, if anything, it needs a sequel. Or some way to tie it into the Dark Souls series. Give us that FromSoft, give us the lore. That's what we need, what we want. Some people were even speculating that this could be From Software's subtle hint that there's a new IP in the works and that they needed the server space and saw Demon Souls as expendable. And that's completely understandable and justifiable if that is indeed the case. And I would love nothing more than for From Software to be working on a new IP, and I'd be waiting anxiously for it, as much as I would love Demon Souls 2. But regardless of what FromSoft does next, I really do feel that Demon Souls will always hold a place in a lot of the Souls fans' hearts, as well as many gamers' hearts. I think that Demon Souls was a staple of the genre, and I don't think even with the servers going offline that gamers are soon to forget Demon Souls. I don't think it's just going to be brushed under the rug anytime soon. If anything, it's one game that we can say that the PS3 got that other systems didn't. As much as I would have loved a PC port, because I bet it would have been amazing just to find all the unused content and things like that. But with all that being said, I think that there's really not much else I could say other than it would just be gushing at this point and just fond nostalgic memories of Demon Souls. So this is going to be my farewell to Demon Souls. I couldn't have had a better experience with it, and I am thankful to have played it. I am glad that it was one of the first PS3 titles I played, and Demon Souls, you won't be forgotten. Not from me, not from other Souls players, and I hope you stick around for a really long time in people's memories and people's hearts. And with that, I think that's it for this video. So for the next couple minutes, there's going to be some footage that I took that I just didn't want to go to waste play out. So I hope you guys all just kick back and enjoy watching it. And I will see you all in the outro. Alrighty gamers, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to rate, comment, or subscribe. And if you want to check out any more of my content, please feel free to follow the links on the screen or check out any of the links in the description below. And as always gamers, this has been Daybreaker Rein, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy everybody.